Football Coaches Show. There you go. All 4 headsets now. So, St. Paul's Football Coaches Show live at Walk-Ons. Going to have some coaches in, Barry.
Oh, yeah.
Have some of the players talk about the matchup with Covington High this week and talk about some of the past performances moving forward. Jason, you good? Sound off in here, but if you can turn it on in there on the TVs for the guys watching outside. So. And we're still setting up some stuff here. So
this is our first time on this in this venue.
Yeah, it is.
So this is pretty.
I'm gonna have to hold you back from that burger in front of us.
I know.
So,
hey, that's the same one I had last week, though.
Yep. So just want to go ahead and get started. Talk about the game last week versus Hammond Berry. Big win for the Wolves, and we'll have Coach Sears on in just a minute to talk about that.
Right.
So just some of the stats. We had Bilson going 11 for 20, 123 yards in the air, and then big game from Danny Sears in the meat package, running 3 touchdowns, over 200 yards rushing for the Wolves, over 100 yards passing. So an all-around good performance on both sides of the ball, and a big win over Hammond. So
that's a big deal.
Yep.
You know, we're coming into the season now, 3rd week, 3-0.
Yep.
And I mean, it feels good to be a Wolf right now. And so, but man, these numbers are outstanding.
Yep. So we're going to go ahead and do a little housekeeping before we go to a commercial break on Walk-Ons. This week at Walk-Ons, they've teamed up with the Hope House, Barry, for tremendous calls. The Hope House fights child abuse and child trafficking. If you can stop by Walk-Ons in Covington and donate $5, you'll receive entry into a drawing for LSU's football signed by Coach O and Joe Burrow. So
that's a big deal.
I know you're a big LSU fan.
I'm trying to get in on that.
So get in on that $5. We also, I don't know if Lenny can zoom in on some of our food items we have here on Walk-On. So we got a Tuscan chicken right over here. And we also got a hickory burger and a tuna teeny. So, coaches, we got y'all some food here if y'all want to eat in a minute. So let's go ahead and thank our sponsor, Walk-Ons. We'll go to a quick commercial break from them, and when we come back, we'll be joined by head coach of St. Paul's, Coach Ken Sears. So we'll be back in about 2 minutes with Coach Sears.
You up?
This is a walk-on athlete.
You care what side your mic's on? Do you care what side your mic is on? Well, actually, this is going to be only one way.
This is the
has to be that way.
we're built on.
Ours
It's
all the
why
way
we
around.
put our heart into creating
Pull it
game
down
day
and put it right in front of
with
you
a
there.
taste of Louisiana.
Now you're in the booth. You can hear what everybody's saying.
We live for this.
Man, these are some awesome numbers. I know you're pleased.
This is a
Hey, no, I've seen
walk-on
this.
athlete. They push harder and put their heart into the game. This is the passion we're built on. It's why we put our heart into creating game day with a taste of Louisiana. Walk-ons, we live for this. This is a walk-on athlete. They push harder and put their heart into the game. This is the passion we're built on. It's why we put our heart into creating game day with a taste of Louisiana. Walk-ons, we live for this. This is a walk-on athlete. They push harder and put their heart into the game. This is the passion we're built on. It's why we put our heart into creating game day with a taste of Louisiana. Walk-ons, we live for this.
Joined right now with head coach Ken Sears. Thank you, Coach, for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
And kind of want to talk about recap the season so far. Undefeated season right now, moving up in the rankings. Big wins over Destrehan and Slidell, comeback wins, and then big win over Hammond last week also. So St. Paul's off to a great start. Tell us what you think. What you've seen in some of those games. We'll kind of start with the Destrehan game. I know you see a lot of football, so try to remember what you can, but.
Well, I really think the Destrehan game really kind of set the tone for our season in the beginning, just the way we want it in terms of being down at half and having the ability to come back. It's a really good team. Last year's state runner-up. Our kids battled for 4 quarters, and certainly that gave us a sign that would bode well for the season, that if we could fight hard for 4 quarters and come back and pull out a victory like that, we could do it against anybody. Yep. And that was kind of a catalyst going into week 2, because, we were down by 2 touchdowns with 1:30 left. Yep. And, again, these guys don't have any quit in them, and I'm just proud of the way they've played. Sometimes it hasn't been pretty football. We've made a bunch of mistakes, but that's the process. And, not having the advantage of starting the season at a normal time, we're still working out some of the kinks. But the goal is every week just to get a little bit better in some area.
Have you seen some delays in getting up to speed because of COVID-19 with the hitting? And I know you couldn't make contact, I think, a week before Destrehan games when y'all get to start back.
Yeah, usually we have more time to deal with that. And, when you start having contact, you got to deal with the issues with it in terms of injuries and so forth, and it kind of shapes your roster out. So when you have an opportunity to begin in a normal season, you start pads a lot earlier. And then as the season goes on, you scale it back. So it was a hard balance trying to figure out, at what point do we scale it back, but at the same time, we need to figure out if we could play in pads and acclimate the kids to it. We did have a period of time where we could wear pads, but we had to hit a dummy just to acclimate them to the heat part of it.
Yep. Right. So I know we talked to you, and Barry talked to you after the big win against Destrehan, the comeback win there, trying to keep the momentum high, not coming out flat against Slidell in week 2. And then you had the same issue again against Hammond, trying not to come out flat there.
Yeah, can I tell us what are you doing as far as, because every week is a big game. Yeah. And every week you got to get these guys up on a Monday to take on another big game. And what's your key to that?
Well, Coach Big says it really well, eyes forward. We really can't look back. The only thing that we look back on things that we need to improve upon to get better, which, like I said, is kind of a different thing that we're dealing with. Starting so late, usually, this would be tail end of our season, and really we're not even to the middle of it at this point. So we've been going along all summer long, drilling and doing things. So I think our guys have a grasp of what we're trying to do. It's just how you play and things that you need to work on at this point. But week in and week out, the process is the same. We changed the practice schedule, and we used to come in on Saturdays. Because of COVID, we don't come in on Saturdays anymore, just to give us an extra day away from each other, in case we have an issue or some type of outbreak. So that's a little bit different. Things are still the same, but not quite the same in some of the adjustments that we've had to make. Our Monday practice is changed a little bit, so we're watching more film, which we would usually do on Saturday, and then kind of do a walkthrough of what our plan is. Tuesday is our difficult day, where we go full pads and hit a little bit, Wednesday we're in shells. Thursday is pregame type of walkthrough situation.
Do you, in your practices preparing, for whatever week it is, does your second team offense try to run the same offense as the team you're about to play, or how do you prepare for that?
We usually go with our second team offense against our first team defense, and vice versa on the other side of the ball, which was a challenge this week because most of our second team offense were our JV guys, and they were out this week. So, we may do, and we went ones against ones for a couple of periods just to give them a look, and ran Covington's plays and ran Covington's defense against us to get us a really good look during the week.
Well, I'm going to put you on the spot here. Slidell game. You're down by 2 scores, 1.5 minutes left. You get the quick touchdown. It was less than a minute left.
Yep.
What's going through your head on your next kickoff? We did an onside kick. what was your? I mean, I know you were onside kick, no onside kick. You flipping a coin there, or what was your reasoning behind not doing it?
I really felt that at that point in the game, we were starting to figure it out on defense and play really well. We had 3 timeouts on the clock, so the other part of it is field position. So I felt like if we went in and got 3 stops, we can burn those 3 timeouts right there.
Barry was saying onside kick, and I told him, I said, Barry, we got 3 timeouts. I said, we've been controlling them on defense. We made the adjustments. All we got to do is go 3 and out. And
I was like, Coach Mick's defense has been just power. I mean, they kind of figured it out that second half.
They figured it out the second half, and I thought we were playing really well and kind of had them on their heels.
Yeah.
So we went with the deep kick, and it worked out for us. Doesn't work out that way all the time. But,
right.
Well, speaking of the deep kick, with Tally, is it that common to have a field goal kicker as good as he's doing this year and the leg that he's got? I mean,
he's doing fantastic.
Yeah.
He has a phenomenal work ethic, and I just told him a little while ago, and he didn't know, but I just got an email from the LHSA. It's one of those good emails from the LHSA. But he was just named Composite Academic All-State, which is all classifications together. So it's quite an honor, and congratulations to Brady.
Good job.
But he works hard. He's got an outstanding work ethic, and during the period of COVID, even during the quarantine, he'd call me to come open the gate. I'd open the gate for him, and constantly practicing. So it doesn't surprise me that he's having the kind of season that he is.
Well, I know a lot of the teams we see, I don't know if it was John Curtis in the scrimmage or Destrehan had the big kicker, that straight-on kicker. Some of the teams we played don't even try the field, the PAT. They just go for 2. It's like Slidell was doing, and it's got to be a good weapon to have in your arsenal, a guy that can hit a 40-yard field goal whenever you need it.
No doubt. We've been lucky in the past in having good kickers, but Brady certainly is keeping that tradition alive. He's having a great season for us.
Yeah.
Well, Hammond game seemed like we were in control. A lot of that game. I know. We didn't have to come back with a lot of passing in the second half. We put the meat package in and kind of ran it down their throat and ran down the clock. What are you taking from that game, and what are you looking forward to in the Covington game next week?
Well, the first thing that we need to clean up 5 turnovers. It's difficult to win a game with 2 turnovers, much less 5. So, I mean, we were very fortunate that Hammond turned it over to us 5 times, so it kind of balanced out. I really thought we had nice drives going, but those turnovers stalled it, and, we had some mistakes. And, late in the game, also a lot of penalties. I want to say each team, accounted for 20-something penalties. So when you play a sloppy game like that, it's a recipe for keeping it close and getting into a battle. The meat package part of it, we were on our own 38 and had a 4th and 1. We said, hey, let's get it right here and just get this drive alive. And then, we busted a nice run for about 20 or something yards. And we just
busted 3 nice runs back to back.
After that, we just said, keep it in. Let's just keep running it. Let's just ride this out and see where it takes us.
Yeah, and I think, Danny had, I guess it was a 25, 30-yard run and another 25, 30-yard run.
It's that quick.
And then he had another first down. And
it was quick.
If it wasn't broke, don't fix it, is what we said up there. Keep running it. So, and we like seeing them big boys come in and run the ball, so we get excited about that. So
the O-line did an outstanding job, too. Yeah.
Look,
he had some canyons to run through.
Big time holes. And that's what when I sent you that email yesterday about wanting to talk to all these guys, whether, the defensive line, the offensive line, running backs, receiver. I mean, you had 3 interceptions that game against Hammond with Freeman and who was
Calvert. Calvert had 2.
Yep, Calvert had 2. And just all around, just a lot of excitement in every position, in every game, it seems like. So, rivalry with Covington. I know, that's a big rivalry, crosstown rivalry, probably a 1.5 miles, 2 miles the crow flies, and going over there this Friday night. Typically probably would be a hostile environment, but I guess it's going to be scaled down due to COVID. So what are you expecting to see over there?
Well, first off, it's one of my favorite places to play, to be honest with you.
Okay.
The Cow Palace, Jack Salter Stadium, it's always a great atmosphere. I know it'll be scaled down, but and we just got word today that LHC, the governor, is going to allow 50%. So I don't know if that's going to take effect this Friday or next Friday. Tickets have been sold already.
Well, that's going to knock your tickets down. But Barry's been scalping these tickets every week, so up in the 50% is going to knock some money out of Barry's pocket. So, but yeah, we'll have some more people there. So. Looking forward to that. And me and you don't know this, but me and Barry have coached a lot of kids on the Covington team in rec football when they're coming up. So there's 2 or 3 freshmen that are starting for Covington that
we actually
we helped mold. We're going to take credit for it. Running back Jay, I can't think of Jay's last name, but Jamonte at nose guard. So they got a couple boys that we knew growing up. And
the Blackwell kid, he started last year too.
Yep. So any players that stand out on their side of the ball you are preparing for?
I think the quarterback does an outstanding job. And they have 2 outstanding receivers who are young. They're speedy, and we have to do a great job in coverage. And we're going to have to, apply some pressure on the quarterback, but he does a great job dropping it in the bucket. So they have a pretty good running game. Their defense is salty as usual. Greg does a fantastic job with his guys, and they're playing good Covington football. Yep. I know they're 0-3, but they played 3 really tough teams, and they
went 3 overtimes last week.
Yep. So they play tough competition like we have, and they just come up short. So they're looking for a win, and it's a big game for them as it is for us. As always, play for the Brown Jug, so there's going to be a lot of emotion in it. And
after last year, with that rain and the delay and all that we had to go through, we need to get that thing back to the house where it belongs.
That was the longest halftime ever, and it certainly didn't help us. One team handled it well, one team didn't.
Right.
We didn't, and they sure did. We're looking forward to going there and playing them. It's a classic rivalry. I want to say we started it back up back in 2000.
Yep.
It was revived, and from there it's always been a great experience, not only for us but for our team in both schools. I really think
I think you got a player there, ex-player, somebody wanting to wave at you.
Hey, how you doing, Mick? So for both schools, a lot of these guys played rec ball together and they know each other, so it's a little bit, more intense and more important to them than maybe some other games that we have.
We got some buddies over at Covington, so
we've been hearing it all week.
Well, we've been hearing it longer than all week, Barry. But
you know what? We get the last word. That's right. Because a lot of them are going to be watching this tomorrow night, and I tuned in and doing the pay-per-view. So we actually get to say the last words.
Oh, okay.
So we're looking forward to that. So.
Well, Coach, anything else you want to add before we move down the line? I know we got some other coaches and players we're going to be talking to tonight. Glad to have you here. Glad our sponsor, Walk-Ons, is letting us do this. It's pretty cool little deal we got set up here.
No doubt. I want to thank Walk-Ons for sponsoring us and all our sponsors, and thank you guys for all the hard work you've done with streaming this year. It was something that we needed to do a long time ago, and I appreciate you, Mike, taking the lead on that, Barry, and all the work that you've done with it. It's been fantastic for us this year, and COVID, brought something good in terms of, after COVID, keeping this, and that way we could reach all of our supporters and all of our fans if they can't come to the game. So it's something that's needed to be done for a long time.
I'll let you know. I can see kind of where people are that are watching us every week, and we have somebody, I don't know who they are, but we have somebody in Mexico and somebody in Canada that watches every week. So you're going international.
Good. We got Wolves
St. Paul's international.
Yep. So, well, Coach Sears, I appreciate it, man, and good luck tomorrow night.
Thank you.
And keep that train rolling, man. So we're having a blast watching y'all and
calling the games.
It's fun. So, and y'all are doing a great job. So thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We're going to go to commercial break real quick. Thank our sponsors. I want to thank Walk-Ons, obviously, and we'll be right back after this commercial break.
This is a walk-on athlete. They push harder and put their heart into the game. This is the passion we're built on. It's why we put our heart into creating game day with a taste of Louisiana. Walk-Ons, We live for this. This is a walk-on athlete. They push harder and put their heart into the game. This is the passion we're built on. It's why we put our heart into creating game day with a taste of Louisiana. Walk-ons, we live for this. This is a walk-on athlete. They push harder and put their heart into the game. This is the passion we're built on. It's why we put our heart into creating game day with a taste of Louisiana. Walk-ons, we live for this. This is a walk-on athlete. They push harder and put their heart into the game. This is the passion we're built on. It's why we put our heart into creating game day with a taste of Louisiana. Walk-ons, we live for this. This is a walk-on athlete. They push harder and put their heart into the game. This is the passion we're built on. It's why we put our heart into creating game day with a taste of Louisiana. Walk-ons, we live for this.
3 seconds. Yeah, we're live. All right, guys,
and we're back. We're back here at Walk-Ons for the Coaches Show live. Mike Arnold, Barry Strickland, Wolfpack Broadcast Network. Also have Kenny Sears III with us, offensive coordinator for St. Paul's. Kenny, before we get started with you, we want to thank some of our sponsors. Obviously, want to thank St. Paul's for letting us do this. Great school, 9 merit scholars. Coach Sears just told us that Brady Talley was nominated by the LHSAA for the composite academic all-state team, which is a big achievement for grades and athleticism. So congratulations to him. 9 merit scholars. Got an open house coming up. I believe it's October 31st from 1 to 3 that Saturday. So go check out St. Paul's School if you want to send your kid there. So thank you to them. Green Lewis, want to thank Green Lewis, our official vet for WPBN, for all your veterinary needs out on Highway 40 in Covington. Go see Dr. Barry and all the guys over at Green Lewis for large animals, small animals, whatever you need. HSI Energy and the Vining family, want to thank them. Offshore maintenance work, all your offshore stuff, go to HSI Energy. Also want to thank Habaneros, one of our timeout sponsors. They have 2 locations over on Highway 21 and Highway 190. 3rd location coming on Highway 22. Coach Kenny's looking at me like, how are you remembering all this?
That's unbelievable.
We do it every week. So I kind of ramble.
He was doing this like the first 5 minutes.
Yeah, hats off to y'all. That's incredible.
Obviously, want to thank Walk-Ons. Walk-Ons, couldn't do it without them. They're our official touchdown sponsor. We're here tonight doing the Coaches Show, which we're excited to do. That's our first one, so hopefully we can kind of continue this. And thank you to Walk-Ons.
Got a good setting here. They've set us up, and wish we could show the whole room, but
got a lot of players here. Yep.
All the way from freshmen up. So.
And there's a lot more out in the main dining area. So also want to thank AVALA. Couldn't do it without AVALA. They're our scoreboard sponsor, pregame sponsor. You know, those guys stepped up to the plate big time and helped out St. Paul's football and let us stream. Cupcake Concept. That's Barry's favorite sponsor, Kenny. You don't know that.
Oh yeah.
He talks about cupcakes every game.
I hear they hook y'all up during the games too.
Yep, they do. You probably heard that, huh?
I did. I heard that.
Did you hear about how to eat those cupcakes?
I did not.
That was the second half last week.
It was actually
go back and watch that
quarters,
again.
So Cupcake Concepts over on Boston Street. Go see Josh and Melissa. If you mention St. Paul's football, Kenny, you can get $5 off your order of $25 or more. So if you like
I might
cupcakes,
have to take you up on that.
Yep, go get them.
Good.
Powder Dat Powder Coating, largest powder coating warehouse in the Southeast. So thank you to those guys. Republic Services, want to thank them also. United Builders. And Lenny Russell for all your general contracting.
Thanks, Lenny.
Lenny's over there working the camera today, but thank you to Lenny and United Builders. Med Centris, who's also our defensive play sponsor, all your wound healing needs. Shaffett family over at Med Centris. So we got a few more, Kenny. We're almost done. So this has grown pretty big. In 45 days, this nothing to all this. So Debbie Anterio, official realtor of the Wolfpack Broadcast Network. Whether you're buying a house, selling a house, I don't know if you're going to be doing that anytime soon.
Not anytime soon.
Reach out to Debbie Ann at 985-78. Go back, Chip, so I can see it.
Hey, just send my phone to me. I'll get it to you.
Yeah, 985-789-2454. If you're buying or selling a house, or if you just want to text her, just reach out to Debbie and tell her what's up.
Hey, she's got results that move you.
Yep. Reliability Point. Thank you to all those guys at Reliability Point. Want to thank them for all your service needs in industrial plants, vibration analysis, infrared scanning, laser shaft alignment systems, lateral lining, scanning, gap vac trucks. They do it all. So reach out to Jack McLemore at 225-931-9648 over at Reliability Point for all your needs there. The re-election campaign of Eric Skrmetta for Public Service Commissioner District 1. Want to thank him for sponsoring us. And we got a new one this week, Paradigm. So Eric hooked us up. Yep. Gave us that. We
he had a son that graduated last year and has another son that's there and a daughter that's at SSA.
Yep. So he's going to be our first down sponsor starting tomorrow night. So you'll see some commercials from Eric.
He's going to see a lot, huh?
Yeah.
A lot of first down sponsor.
Got Kenny on it.
We want to see a lot.
Fingers crossed. Yep. Fingers crossed.
All right. So now back to football. We got all the bills paid, Kenny. Sorry you had to sit through all that.
But, no problem at all.
So, Kenny Sears III, our offensive coordinator for St. Paul's. Doing a great job this year on that side of the ball. A lot of passing, a lot of running, a lot of exciting things happening, a lot of people touching the ball, so which is fun to watch. So we're going to kind of do the same thing we did with Coach Sears and kind of just go back and talk about the different games and where we're at, building up. St. Paul's 3-0, moving up the rankings, exciting stuff on the side of the ball. Going back to that Destrehan game and Slidell, you had to come back in the second half on both of them. So kind of walk us through Destrehan, establishing the run in the first half, going to Bilson in the air in the second half, and what some of the things you saw there.
Right. Well, first off, I appreciate y'all having me on. This whole setup is awesome. I think it's just what y'all are doing. It's a great thing for our kids, great thing for our program, exposure, and it's just I put it on in class for my PE class when we're in the classroom and can't go outside.
I heard that.
So I appreciate y'all having me, first off. But, back to that Destrehan game. Well, just us and the coaching staff really thought that they were extremely talented up front, had a really good-looking front seven. We knew they were in the state championship game the year before against Acadiana. And we really wanted to come out and set the tone, prove that we can run it. We knew they had some athletes on the back end and knew it might be tough to come out and slinging it, really wanted to settle in. I thought we moved the ball okay throughout the first half, just didn't capitalize on a few opportunities, had that pick down in the red zone. It was a close one. It was just one of those misreads. We've had a few of those here and there, but that's part of it, working through it. And I think you could see in the second half of that game, we really just worked through a lot of those mistakes. Offensively, we do a little unit leader thing. Dylan Porsche, Grant Bilson, Mitchell Smith, Cole Piazza, they've been great all year. Just rallying the troops, staying positive throughout the game. One of our offensive musts, I give our guys things that we must do no matter what.
right, is just never flinch no matter the score situation. We can't look at the scoreboard. We got to go out, operate, do our thing. And I think that's really what happened in the second half. We were just operating, doing our thing, able to put up 19 points on the board. And again, I think it's a momentum thing. Once we started moving the ball, put a score in, that gave some juice to our defense and ended up coming up with the win. And it was a big win for our program, and certainly to start the season out like that.
Do you try to, because there was a pattern in the Destrehan and Slidell game. It was a little bit different than last week at Hammond, but are you trying to every week establish the run in the first half so you can go there in the second half? Or are you trying?
It's probably a game-by-game basis. Yep. I think you look back to our roots. I think we've always been able to run the ball real well from prior to when I was a player here. Throughout my dad's tenure as the head coach, I think we've always had a solid run game, and I think to be able to be successful in football, you got to have a solid run game. So, I think throughout every game, that's something we're always going to look to run the ball. Just what we come out doing it'll depend on, the game situation, who we're playing against, what they look like up front, all that. But, I certainly agree. We're always going to try to establish a run throughout the game.
Well, with the Destrehan game, the Slidell game, the first half we got behind, and we worked back through it. In the Hammond game, we were ahead. And did you see a difference in our players where they were, working from behind and really giving you that second effort? And where we in the Hammond game, we got ahead, and did they want to relax a little bit?
Right. I think it was a little bit of that. We're coming off of 2 big wins.
Yeah.
It's hard to come in against an opponent that traditionally they weren't having a ton of success, but it's something we preach throughout the week. These guys can hurt us. They got a new head coach that's doing a great job over there. And I think it was one of those things more so not having the lead, just not being able to get anything going on offense.
Right.
We were just struggling. It was just one of those nights where nothing was hitting, and I tell the guys all the time, it's going to happen. I was lucky enough to be able to play the position. We got a staff full of coaches who played ball at a high level, and kind of understand that things might not always go your way, right? And it's a lot easier to play from being up than playing from behind, right? So when you're up, you really got to stay laser sharp, stay focused to not only keep that lead, but you always want to extend it, right, and put it away, and that's the point. So I think, that played into it, going up 10-2 and just maybe taking our foot off the pedal, right? It was kind of like, we got to score now. Let's kind of get rolling, and that just never seemed to happen, and that's a frustrating thing for these guys that, they see the opportunities to score, and it just wasn't clicking for whatever reason. But we've put a lot of work into that this week in practice, and, look forward to hopefully starting out fast tomorrow night.
It seems like every week there's a lesson from each game, and realizing that, like Coach Sears said a while ago, is that we would be, almost done with our season by now, and we're not even halfway through.
Right.
There's so many things that we had to learn as a team and as a unit, I guess, to get to this point right here. And and just watching them, we've been able to see the team evolve and not make the same mistakes, and if they did make a mistake, learn from it and move on. It's been really neat to see that.
Right. And look, no matter what, I think when you win 59-0, I think you could always go look back at the film and see some mistakes you made, and obviously last week we had a ton of mistakes, way more than any of us would have liked to make, and we understand that. The kids, they're just as upset as we are. That's a great thing about it. They really want to be good. They go look at the film and they say, Coach, man, look, that's on me. I missed that one. They know, we don't have to remind them. They know when they messed up. They know when they bust a play, and they know we got to be better.
That's nice. Great that they're able to get that concept and move on.
Right.
Coach Mick Nunez, defensive coordinator, mentioned it, I guess it was a couple weeks ago, about the transition he's able to do because how intelligent your players are at St. Paul's. Making easy transitions. They can adapt on the fly. I'm sure you see it on the offensive side too. So.
No doubt, yeah.
You were talking about last week the ACT scores. You got offense.
Yeah, I know, and that's I think we were talking about that in our conversation last week. The reason why we can kind of have all this stuff in our back pocket, bounce between formations, personnel is, like y'all said, we got a ton of smart kids at our school, not just in the football program, obviously throughout St. Paul. So I think that's a testament to the school, the teachers, the coaches, everybody that's a part of St. Paul's.
And you got a ton of weapons too. Every week. Whether it's running backs, receivers. We're calling a ton of names. It's not just one. You know what I'm saying? So on the receiving core, Reyna, Lauterbach, Piazza, Vitale. Well, who else am I forgetting? Michelle.
Peyton's been quarantined, I believe, the last few weeks. So he hadn't really gotten too much time since that John Curtis scrimmage. But he's back. He came back yesterday.
Good.
So looking forward to getting him back in the mix as a young up and coming guy. We still got Justin Bayham, Tanner McGee, those guys rolling in. And that's a good thing, now that we've got these guys back off of quarantine. We've got a lot of depth back.
And you got Smith back last week with his
Mitchell
hamstring.
came back last week with his hamstring. Actually, had the fumble, which, again, it's one of those things. He knows he messed up, right? You don't need to tell a guy like Mitchell who's a 3-year starter, that he messed up. And I guarantee he used that all week in practice to fuel him. He's going to come out and roll. And I think for his first game back, I was extremely pleased.
These guys had errors in the other 3 games, so he just had to get his out.
Exactly.
I mean, 60 yards on the ground first week back, first live football since the season before, really.
Right, yeah.
So I mean, he didn't go through the hitting. He missed all that.
He
with
had
that
one
hamstring.
day in full pads when he tore it and got through about 3 periods. So a practice 15 minutes in. So it was just one of those things. It's an injury. It happens. It happens in the game, and he's worked tirelessly to come back. And just glad that he's got that opportunity his senior year. He's real excited for it.
And Coach Stant's offensive line, I mean, they're making holes you could drive a car through. So I mean, they make it look easy. And I know it's not.
Yeah, that's a testament. Look, I got Coach Hawthorne here, Coach Stant, Coach Dominic Davenport, our receivers coach, Coach Jeff Drevon, our assistant O-line coach. We've got a lot of guys on our offensive staff that work 7 days a week looking at this stuff, trying to find the best opportunities for our kids. Even Coach Sears coaches the quarterbacks during Indo every day in practice. He still keeps his hat as the quarterbacks coach. So, a lot of guys are involved. A lot of guys care about these kids, and I think we've done a good job so far just trying to find the best opportunities, to win when we're out there on the field.
So,
well, tell us what you're looking at this week. What are we
going into
defense,
Covington?
Right? Yeah.
I mean, you played against Covington as a player, so you know the rivalry.
I was never got the opportunity to play in Jack Salter Stadium. They did a district redrawing thing where we got them at Hunter Stadium both years. Fortunate enough to beat them. It's always a great rivalry. But this year's Covington team, it's an odd one because they're really talented, really well coached, and I mean, you look at a team that's 0-3 that doesn't tell the tale of their team at all.
Yeah, I mean, I know they faced Dutchtown in week 1. I don't remember who they faced in week 2, and then they lost in 3 overtimes last week. Dutchtown, Ponchatoula, and then lost last week.
And that's 3 phenomenal programs. Coach Salter and the other Coach Salter, the defensive coordinator, they've done a phenomenal job with that program since they took over. Always had a ton of respect for what they do over there. I mean, I think the series has gone back and forth the last few years. So a lot of excitement going into the game. I know we don't have the jug right now, but again, offensively, I preach to our guys, it's about us, right? It's not about them. We look at their personnel, we see who's good, see what they're doing, formulate a plan, but really our focus is on us throughout the week in practice, right? We line up the looks and make sure we're prepared for it, but we focus on getting better on a weekly basis. So that, and especially coming off last week's game where we all just kind of agreed we didn't perform to our highest ability, especially this week, it's been all about us just getting better, getting back to that point.
I'm going to put you on the spot here before I let you go.
Oh, sure.
Let's go back to Slidell. You got 12 seconds on the clock.
12 seconds left,
Third down. I think we were on about the 10-yard line, somewhere around there. Bilson hits Reyna in the corner. Was that when you got – I mean, I know you were probably planning 2-3 plays ahead.
Right.
Is that the play you knew you were going to call for that last play, or did you have a couple options there?
Yeah, it was one of those things we knew if we can get number 14 one-on-one, we'd have a great shot at it.
Absolutely.
I like looking back at the film and seeing what got us there. I go look back at Cole Piazza's catch to get that first down to get us into that position on that 13-yard gain, and then really made it easy on me. We're in a position. It was actually two plays that were called. We had a run play called if they gave us a safety over the top of Brody and Grant did a great job recognizing that it was one-on-one. They took the shot and hit it for a touchdown. So
your guys are audible.
And we'll do that periodically. Where we'll just give them a run pass and then Grant and it'll be a one receiver thing on the backside where if they give us a look, throw it, man. And I think it feels good for them to have that responsibility on the field. Know
freedom.
that we trust them, right? I mean, if they give us the look, we know Brody's our guy on the outside. He's going to go up, get it.
Yeah.
So
that combination is fun to watch. All the receivers, I mean, Lauterbach, Reyna,
Nathan,
Vitale,
that's what I say. Cole, they've all come in, and it's a testament to their hard work. I told you last week, those kids made a commitment at the end of last season. When I got the chance to talk to them after taking over as OC, this is y'all's team. It's y'all's offense, right? I'm just going to, us as coach, we're going to put y'all in the best situations to succeed, but y'all have to hold each other accountable and put in the work.
It's amazing.
And you could see it pay off on the field from last year to this year.
And talk about Nathan Vitale. Last week he had 3 great catches. I mean, one of them where he slipped coming out of the coverage
and still
got the catch. The next one he bobbled and still got the catch. And then he had one that he got. I mean, it could have been an inch off the ground. Great catch. So I mean, receivers across the board. I mean, everything on the offense. Keep chugging, Coach.
I appreciate it. Look, we're working hard. We're looking forward. I know our kids are ready to go. We had a great week of practice, so we let the chips fall where they may. We're gonna give it 100% every play, and we'll look at the scoreboard at the end. Hopefully, we're on top.
That's right.
Well, look, Coach, I appreciate it. Good luck tomorrow night.
Thank you. I appreciate y'all having me. Absolutely.
Thank you, buddy.
Go Wolves, man.
Go Wolves.
So before we go to our sponsor, Walk-Ons, want to thank them again. This week at Walk-Ons, they teamed up with the Hope House, which is a tremendous cause, Barry. Hope House fights against child abuse and child trafficking. If you come by Walk-Ons in Covington and donate $5, it enters you in a chance to win a LSU football signed football by Coach O and Joe Burrow.
That's outstanding.
And then
Coach
we also
O.
want to thank Walk-Ons. They got us a tunatini over here, Barry. And I've been looking at it all night, so I'm just stealing one off of it. Got a hickory burger, which you had a week ago.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'll get that every time.
Yep. And a Tuscan chicken. So great food at Walk-Ons. Thank you to our sponsor, Walk-Ons. And with that, we're going to go ahead and take a quick commercial break. And we'll be right back.
This is a walk-on athlete. They push harder and put their heart into the game. This is the passion we're built on. It's why we put our heart into creating game day with a taste of Louisiana. Walk-ons, we live for this. This is a walk-on athlete. They push harder and put their heart into the game. This is the passion we're built on. It's why we put our heart into creating game day with a taste of Louisiana. Walk-ons, we live for this. This is a walk-on athlete. They push harder and put their heart into the game. This is the passion we're built on. It's why we put our heart into creating game day with a taste of Louisiana. Walk-ons, we live for this. This is a walk-on athlete. They push harder and put their heart into the game. This is the passion we're built on. It's why we put our heart into creating game day with a taste of Louisiana. Walk-ons, we live for this. This is a walk-on athlete. They push harder and put their heart into the game. This is the passion we're built on. It's why we put our heart into creating game day with a taste of Louisiana. Walk-ons, we live for this. This is a walk-on athlete. They push harder and put their heart into the game. This is the passion we're built on. It's why we put our heart into creating game day with a taste of Louisiana. Walk-ons, we live for this.
Ball coaches show, and coach, it's going to be delayed up there, so we'll be back in just a second.
Yeah.
I won't look.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're joined right now with Coach Mick Nunez, defensive coordinator, St. Paul's football. And before we get started with Coach Mick, want to obviously thank Walk-Ons, and they're bringing us some drinks right now.
Right here, right now.
Diet Coke, baby.
Some sweet tea.
So thank you to Walk-Ons for being our official touchdown sponsor and also sponsoring the coaches show here. Want to thank those guys. Couldn't have done it without them. And this week at Walk-Ons, they've teamed up with the Hope House for a tremendous cause. Barry, the Hope House fights child abuse and child trafficking. So if you stop by Walk-Ons in Covington and donate $5, it'll go towards entry to win a signed LSU football by Coach O and Joe Burrow from last year. So great cause, $5. You know, I don't know what Joe Burrow signed football is going for, but it's more than $5.
More than $5.
So come by. Donate to a great cause. Come get some great food. I know they set us up with a hickory burger, which you had last week, Barry. I think you had 2 of them.
Yes,
and
it was
tuna
delicious.
teeny. And I see Coach Mick eyeing that Tuscan chicken over there. So I'll let him take that when he leaves the table. You can take whatever you want, Coach.
I'm good.
So all right.
The tuna teeni's really nice.
Tuna teeny is good. We talk about it all the time on every week. So thank you to Coach Mick Nunez, joining us, defensive coordinator for St. Paul's. Me and Barry talk about it every week in the booth, Coach Mick, and you bring in the house. I mean, a lot of pressure from Frolic, Sears, your son. I mean, you're always sending the house. So love watching your defense. They're fun to watch. So.
They're fun to coach.
Yeah.
They like to run, so it make it fun.
Do you have any problems keeping the energy level up on your defense, or are they ahead of you?
No,
on that?
they stay pretty hyped. It's a little different. We run a little more than last year, so
I heard.
We had to relearn it.
Yep.
And I think they're doing well. We're getting better every week with it, I think. It's a lot of – we have to redirect because I don't want to get in track meets with any teams that we play.
Yeah.
I want to get to them quick, and hopefully it works.
Well, I can tell you, we talk about it, especially the Destrehan game, and then you saw it in the Slidell game and Hammonds, I'm sure, too. But the other team with the hands on their hips. I mean, your defense – looks like they could go 6 quarters, and Destrehan looked like they were out of it in the 3rd quarter, right after halftime. So, I mean, your running paid off, obviously. Your conditioning paid off, your pressure paid off, and it looks like you're pissing off some of them boys on the other side of the line when you bring in the house. So.
I think our kids are having fun, too.
They
That's
are.
a big part.
Yep.
Them being able to go.
Yep.
And we talk about it.
Yep. So, well, in that Slidell game, you had a lot of pressure on y'all. We did an onside kick for that last, the last series we got the ball and we were still down by a touchdown. We talked to, head coach Sears earlier about that, the decision to either onside kick or kick it. He said, we had 3 timeouts left and Coach Mick's defense was getting in step and we were looking for a 3 and out. I said the same thing up in the booth. Barry agreed with me. So, I mean, we rolled with it.
We were with y'all already.
Yep. And your defense stepped up and did that 3 and out. How much pressure did you feel over there getting them boys ready for that or they were just pumped up, ready to go?
They were ready to go. I mean, we talk about eyes forward all the time.
Yep.
Whatever happened. And Slidell actually beat us up pretty good in the first half, I think, defensively. And we kept our composure, regrouped at halftime and came back and had a pretty good second half.
Definitely.
You
could see that you had a totally different, game plan in the second half.
We did.
And it worked.
Their O-line, I tip my hat to them. If we see somebody that nasty again.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
Pretty tough.
They were tough, and our kids really stepped up and did what we needed to do. We did. We ran a lot, and I think we had them flustered there toward the end.
You could see the transition towards the end of the game. The adjustments y'all were making were working. it was, you could tell it was starting to frustrate the Slidell offense. They had a couple ticky-tack fouls after the play from just, starting fights and trash talking and stuff like that. So when you start seeing that, you're getting in somebody's head.
Well, I'm lucky too, in regard to calling the game. I put a lot on the people that work defensively with me. Brian Moore, Mike Brown, Gabe Emerson, and Sam Francis. Really, everybody has input, and I'm lucky that we work well together because I put a lot on them. I need their help. I'm not a genius. I'm just having fun, and I'm hoping they're having fun with me.
Well, last week against Hammond, I can think of several big defensive plays. I know Frolic had a sack, Hickey had a sack, Sears had a sack. There was a few more. There were some combination sacks with your son and Sears in on some. Also had 3 interceptions. Your defense was looking good.
That's got to fire you up.
Yeah, they were clicking, and we talked about it. Do we have kids that are better? Sure, but if we don't play together, we're not going to be good. Like I said, the track meet thing. We're not winning just a straight race.
Right.
And I'm not being ugly. That's the reality of it. We have to get people to the ball, and they're doing a great job of it. Trying to get them in the first few steps and rally to it.
So we talked about that earlier about the unit, and I always refer to them as the units going on the field. But not having strong players strong players, yes, but maybe we don't have speed demons or something like that, and really containing these guys. That team has to work together. They have to benefit each other, and they have to work off each other's talents. Huh?
We do have studs. We do have fast kids, but we have to be together.
Right.
If you look at the O-lines we faced, 290 pounds, 200.
Oh,
yeah. That's gigantic.
Right.
Having
to squat that every play. It's one thing to go in the weight room and do it. It's another thing to be out there.
So we run. We try and beat them to spots. We try and make them move.
Yeah.
How much prep goes into your preparation as far as looking at the team's game film, stuff like that?
Probably same as every other coach. We look at it. You try and pick the weak spots. But the problem is every team knows their weak spots, so the coach, they're making their adjustments. I just try and keep people guessing.
Yeah.
I think you're doing a good job of that.
So. I'm sure somebody's going to figure it out, and I'll be like, oh. But it is what it is. That's when I got out of football, 13 years ago, because my kids were little, and I was just really busy with baseball and life. And when I got back, I was a defensive coordinator then, and then I came back 11 years later. Yeah. And when Lee stepped down, I was lucky enough to get it again, and that's what we did before. So I was like, we're going to go to it. I asked Kenny, I said, do you mind? He goes, no, man, have fun with it. I said, okay.
It looks like you are. So big rivalry coming up tomorrow against Covington over at Covington for the Brown Jug. I know we didn't get it last year. It was a kind of a crazy game with weather and the super long halftime, and we talked about that earlier. Coach Sears mentioned, Covington's got a good young quarterback and some good young receivers. I know they got a freshman running back starting over there. A lot of speed. Is there anything? You're just going to stick with what you're doing,
fast.
Huh? Yeah,
we're going to do
like
what
every
we do.
Week.
The way we play, we put a lot of pressure on the secondary.
Yep.
They understand it. They know I'm not going to get mad.
Yep.
Do the best you can, and we'll go to the next play. We'll go to the next play, and it is what it is. Yeah. I stress eyes forward, and that's everything.
Well, I know big 72 Gavin Clayton, it seems like when I go back and put some of the replays together and stuff after the game, it seems like he gets double teamed almost every play, and we don't see it in the booth live. But but I started watching on some of the sacks and some of the stuff. I'm like, God, I was like, every one he was double teamed. It seemed like every play.
When we go with a 3-man front and he's by himself at a nose, he's
taking up 2 players.
He is. He's doing a good job.
Oh, he's doing a great
job. He's really
job.
Stepped up. They know what they're in for. They know how to try and defend it.
And it doesn't hurt having Frolic on the end, as athletic and as big as he is.
See, that's by we don't have speed demons and stuff. We got studs.
Yeah.
It's just the way we're running, it's I don't want to be a one-on-one. So
how do you have to do any special, adjustments or anything since Danny's on the other side of the ball sometimes running too, or does he I know sometimes that might get tiring, but he looks like he's got a ball of energy with him.
We look at it, and if he's tired, I'm lucky that we have people that will go in and, I tell them all the time, there's one guy, if you're first team, are you better than the second team? Yes. Second team, are you functional? Can you get out there and do it? Yes. It's they know their role, and I think that's a huge part of our success. If you notice right now, we're rolling people in and out, staying fresh, backers and in the line. And, I think that paid off big in the Slidell game because we just had people moving. And
did you do that the first half, or is it just the second half? Second half. Yeah.
Second half.
That's when I noticed it. So.
And I liked it.
Yeah.
Let me just ask you this: at halftime, when you're making those adjustments, are you over there chewing people's butt, or are you saying, "Look, we're missing this"? And
I'm not a big.
You don't seem like you are.
I'm pretty laid back in that regard. We actually switched what we did. We went from a 4-man front to a 3-man front, and
Barry pointed that out.
It worked out. Kenny said at halftime, "How you feel?" I was like, "I don't know. I'll let you know in a little bit." I had no idea how it would work.
That's how it's going to go.
So
it looks like you do have a lot of fun with it, and just knowing the players, they enjoy your enthusiasm with that, and that, I'm sure that feat comes onto the field, and they're hyped up, knowing that I just got to give Coach 100%. That's all he's asking me. He's asking me to do and do my best. I guess not even 100%, but just do my best. So the unit comes together, and it just really it comes. It comes alive. So
I hope they keep it up.
Well, Coach Mick, your defense is exciting to watch, and thank you for coming on, and
thank you for having me.
Look forward to the rest of the football season and then seeing you over on the side with the baseball. You got a great baseball team, obviously. What I say in the booth is defending state champs. They didn't have a state championship last year, so I'm pretty sure, it's still under y'all's, our name. So
I might make T-shirts. Say defending back to back.
Three-peat is what I said. Back-to-back three-peat.
No, we were doing well last year. That was disheartening.
When, and you were ranked number one.
Is what if that was the biggest problem in the world, I'd be happy. But we'll get back at it when that comes around.
And I'm sure it's easy with some of the talent you got. I know you got Spalita, Simon. You got Russo over at first base. You got some big arms with Cade Anderson and having SEC signees and a bunch of other D1 signees.
That's neat.
Yeah,
it changes how you coach, but
So I'm sure you have as much fun as that, what you do with your defensive coordinator. So, but thank you for coming on, Coach Mick. Look forward to the rest of the season. Keep up the hard work on defense. Exciting to watch, and
it is.
I appreciate that. So that's Coach Mick Nunez, defensive coordinator, St. Paul's football. We're going to take a short break, and once again, come into Walk-Ons in Covington, donate $5. It goes towards Hope House, which fights against child abuse and child trafficking, and that $5, Barry, will not only go towards a good cause, but it also enter you for a chance to win a signed football by Joe Burrow and Coach O.
I would like to. I think I might like to have that.
You would. So thank you to Walk-Ons for our Coach Show sponsorship, touchdown sponsorship, and we're going to go to a commercial, and we'll be right back.
Special teams? This is a walk-on athlete. They push harder and put their heart into the game. This is the passion we're built on. It's why we put our heart into creating game day with a taste of Louisiana. Walk-ons, we live for this. This is a walk-on athlete. They push harder and put their heart into the game. This is the passion we're built on. It's why we put our heart into creating game day with a taste of Louisiana. Walk-ons, live for this. This is a walk-on athlete. They push harder and put their heart into the game. This is the passion we're built on. It's why we put our heart into creating game day with a taste of Louisiana. Walk-ons, we live for this. This is a walk-on athlete. They push harder and put their heart into the game. This is the passion we're built on. It's why we put our heart into creating game day with a taste of Louisiana. Walk-ons, we live for this. This is a walk-on athlete. They push harder and put their heart into the game. This is the passion we're built on. It's why we put our heart into creating game day with a taste of Louisiana. Walk-ons, we live for this. This is a walk-on athlete. They push harder and put their heart into the game. This is the passion we're built on. It's why we put our heart into creating game day with a taste of Louisiana. Walk-ons, we live for this. This is a walk-on athlete. They push harder and put their heart into the game. This is the passion we're built on. It's why we put our heart into creating game day with a taste of Louisiana. Walk-ons, we live for this.
Show St. Paul's football. Mike Arnold, Barry Strickland. I almost said in the booth. We're not in the booth. We're in behind the table
here at Walk-Ons.
Yep.
They got us set back here in the, I guess the.
I think they call it the banquet room.
The banquet room here.
Yep.
They've got us set really nice.
So we'll call it the Wolves Den tonight.
Hey,
so maybe we can get them to rename it. So that's a good idea. Look at me, Barry.
Yep.
Got Coach Sam Francis here, special teams coach for St. Paul's High School. Before we get over to Coach Francis, want to remind everybody that Walk-Ons teamed up with Hope House, which fights child abuse and child trafficking. So if you come in during October and donate $5 at Walk-Ons in Covington, that'll go towards the Hope House, and then also enter you in a chance to win a LSU signed football by Coach O and Joe Burrow. So
would you like that, Coach?
Yeah, it'd be nice to have.
So,
I mean, somebody put it on the walls.
So thank you to Walk-Ons, and reach out to them and help a good cause with the Hope House. So Coach Francis, glad to have you on, our first ever coaches show. So
yes, thank you all for having me. It's a pleasure.
So far, we've got thumbs up all the way across the board.
Yep.
So, it's been good. I mean, I'm enjoying it.
It's unreal.
My kids are loving it. They're over there.
Are you able to watch the replays or when we stream them?
I was just talking to Barry. I hadn't had a chance to watch any of the replays, but from what I hear and from some of the people out there, that sounds looking great, and y'all are doing a fantastic job, and some of the insights and things of that nature.
We told Coach Sears, every week we have somebody in Canada and somebody in Mexico watching. So we have 2 international viewers.
We're that big.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're watching us or they're watching the game.
Oh,
we're not sure yet.
So before we get into special teams, we put in a new end zone camera last week. I don't know if you saw it, but on that 30-foot scissor lift in the north end zone, because as good as Tally is kicking the ball, we wanted to try to get him some shots.
We want to see one come into our living room.
That's what. Yeah, you want that ball come right at you.
So when I met him, I was out there around lunch that day moving the scissor lift, trying to get it in the right spot, and there was a PE class or something was out on the field, and I needed to move the tackling sled that the offensive line works on, and obviously I couldn't move it by myself.
Oh, come on now.
So I hollered at some of the boys, said, "Hey, y'all come over here." I said, "Move this for me." So I didn't even know he was one of them, and when he was walking off, I said, "Does this look centered?" And he said, "Yes, sir, that looks good." And he had I don't think he had his jersey on, but he had something on that said football. And I said, you play for the team? He said, "Yes, sir." And I said, "Who are you?" He said, "Brady Talley." I said, "Oh, well, this is for you." so
you couldn't tell by his stature that he was a football player?
So we talked for a few minutes, and I asked him, I didn't tell you this, Barry, but I asked him, before he walked off, I asked him probably 4 or 5 times. I said, "Look, man, this is not going to interfere with what you're doing, right?
Please don't let it.
We
need that golden toe."
Yeah. So I didn't want him seeing that
right
scissor lift in his peripheral vision or something.
Yeah, you don't want to see that.
And I get blamed for a missed field goal or something.
Oh, come on, man.
So we were calling it the tally cam, and he almost hit it twice last week. So. But special teams, Coach Francis, a lot of exciting things this year. Not just with Tally, but week 1 against Destrehan, we're down at the half. They had won the toss, deferred to the second half, so they were getting the kickoff to start the third quarter, and your special teams comes up with a huge fumble recovery. The guy didn't drop the ball or slip out his hands.
No.
Y'all knocked it out of his hands, and y'all took the ball, and you start. I mean, that was the start of it right there. So
it's true, man. Yeah. I mean, we work on that. We try to do what we can do. We try to put our offense in the best situation, or our defense, whatever it may be, whatever we're trying to get the ball to, or whatever we need to do. And that's what we try to do. And we emphasize, hey, let's go get it ball. Let's set a tone. We always talk about setting a tone because we're the first ones up.
Yep.
And that's what we always talk about.
Yep.
Let's set the tone for the game right here on this first kickoff or first return, whatever it may be.
Yep.
And that's what we try to do.
Yep.
And I mean, we got lucky on that one fumble. It was a little return.
Well,
but
you got lucky
right there. Okay,
you've had a few of them this year. Not luck. That's why I don't think it's luck.
Let's just say we were in the right position when we needed to be.
Right,
and we made the right play.
You are.
So that was his job too. I think it was Shear, I want to say, that did it, and that was his job. He's that back guy. He trails that back first line coming through, and that's his position. So he played it well, did what he needed to do. So that's what he's supposed to do, and that's why we have him in that position. I mean, he's a good tackler, he's a solid tackler, he's the starting corner for us. And that's his position, and he does a great job on it. So that's where they're supposed to do.
I never thought about it setting the tone for the game. I mean, if you had a run back or something like that, it'd be. I mean, you'd be your offense, your defense,
your momentum.
Like, oh,
you got it,
man. But I mean, if you can get that, I mean, that's you're talking about a tone setter.
Yes, that's it. And that's what we always talk about. Even on kickoff, we're like, let's try to lock them down inside that 20 if we can get it, or even a great kickoff in the end zone is always a fiery thing because now we don't have to worry about that kickoff, and we can start on the 20 and work it out, and it
seems like over the years, I'd say 5 or 6 years, you see and hear more and more people talk about the special teams, and having, I mean, people are signing punters and and getting full scholarships and stuff like that, and there's so much weight on that, and we have seen that in the last 3 games.
Yeah, and we preach to the kids. They're always like, "Oh, am I a start on offense, start on defense?" I'm like, "Look, you might be a start on special teams." Yeah. And I'm like, "You got to think of it this. In the special teams, you can get anywhere between 20 to 25 snaps a game if you play on every special teams." And that's things we try to get them to believe in. Hey, you might not be a starter here, you may be a senior, but you come on special teams, you fly around, you make things happen. You're going to contribute 20 to 25 plays a game to this football team. Right. And that's some of the things that we try to get them to buy into.
And be a tone setter of the whole game.
And be a tone setter that we need. It's a great thing for the team and great thing for those guys to be able to be in that opportunity to play.
Right.
And you're the first ones on the field.
Anything else? We talked about it before we went back on air with the Destrehan game. One of the biggest plays in that game was I believe it was the third quarter, the high snap to Bayham. And I mean, and and I was on the phone with my dad the next day, and with my dad. And
you drew up.
Yeah,
perfectly.
And I was talking about the game, and my dad coached football when I was little and coached everything. But him and my grandpa coached together for years. But I asked him, I was talking about one of the plays, and he goes, "Well, you know what the play of the game was?" And I don't remember what I told him. It was something with no block or Sears or Reyna. And he goes, "No."
Yeah, we both agreed about that.
Yeah.
We were like, "Oh yeah, that was it."
Yeah. And he goes, "No, it was when your punter caught the ball over his head because
his fingertips.
On his fingertips, and if Bayham misses that, it goes.
It always goes. It's a disaster.
We lose the
Yeah.
game.
Probably so.
Ifs, ands, or buts.
Yeah. But that's the beauty of having a great athlete as a punter.
Yep.
As a wide receiver, as a punter. I mean, it helps us out tremendously. I mean, his hands, his feet, he can run. I don't know if y'all know he can run. He can move. So, I mean, having him back there and, being tall and long arms, and we have that capability, and he made a great play. I mean,
he's a good punter, too.
He's a great punter.
He's
averaging over 40 yards a punt.
I mean, he turns them over every time.
It's
It's beautiful.
You don't get that in high school all the time. We're fortunate enough to have him as a good punter, and even our backup guy, Allison, is good too.
Yeah.
It's amazing, and it's a shame because he's a great kicker, but Bayham's is really good too.
Well, that's why.
So it's awesome.
I watch, and I'm from Zachary, and I don't remember. I don't know if high school football changed, but I mean, we had a decent field goal kicker, somebody we got off the soccer team, and then our punter was okay. But I mean, I don't remember any high schools having special teams.
No,
like
we did.
We have.
I mean, it was something that we did.
It was just
in the practice.
Yeah.
On Thursday.
Yes, that's what we get to do.
Yeah, exactly. It's not like I'm saying. We don't see a lot of weight or until recently. I mean, and I know there's a lot of weight that's always been, but you just hear people talking about it, the special teams, and how they just changed the whole game.
Yeah, they do, and it's very important to us. I mean, when we get a block punt, now instead of getting the ball on the 40 to 35 on the other side, now we're getting the ball on where we can score on a 40 to 30 to 20, whatever it may be.
Yep.
Changes that. It gives them extra possession if we need it and shortens things. And then punting, we can flip the field easily, especially with our punter. I mean, kicking 40-plus yards a punt, we can flip it. So it's a
I think one of those first punts at the in the Destran game, it was the true out punted his coverage.
Yeah. Sometimes
and I think it was an amazing punt.
Yeah.
I mean, it was I know he did, but I was like, golly, that was a punt.
My two gunners, my two fastest guys. I got Dufour and Shears, my gunners. I mean, but they're fast. They can move, but sometimes you just it's a bomb, and you can't do much about it.
Well, the other thing is that when you have your offense going down the field and they kind of stall out, and you're on the 35, and you can take a drive that would have fizzled and maybe changed the name, the tone of the game again, and you have this guy come in and put it through the uprights.
That's awesome. Man.
And I mean, you never lose that momentum. And I'm sure when the other team sees that y'all are really going to do a field goal, that they're like, oh, there's no way they're going to do this.
I know. It's a luxury to have a guy when you get to about the 30, 35, and you're like, we still got a shot, right?
You
get to the 30, it's like
no pressure. It's no pressure.
That's about where he's at. Let's go ahead and give it a shot. Because I mean, kick in the end zone, you get it to 20, so let's go ahead and roll with it. Give it our best shot and give it a kick.
Now, have they gotten? I'm going to ask you this because I know they change it in between college, NFL, and high school rules. They're all close, but they're different.
Yes.
Is there no bubble for the returner on the punts if he fair catches? Because they are like
in high school, they don't have it.
Okay,
you can be right on top of them. So
really?
So sometimes we'll rep that. We'll make a guy trail. Do for when he catches his punts, like right in his face, and just kind of follow him, just so he gets used to having people around him. But you can get as close as you want. I mean, it's kind of hard. I mean, it's hard to catch it in the first place, but much have another guy within inches from
hearing
him.
it.
But if you do get hit or he does touch you or hits the ball first, they will call interference. But they can get as close as they can without touching.
Last week at Hammond, I don't remember who was returning, but he fair catched or did. I didn't think I saw it.
He did. He did on the way in. He did on the way in. Caught it. But the refs
they blow the whistle?
They never blew the whistle. They never blew the whistle. So he was like,
he ran.
So he took off. Well, which is fine. I mean, if they don't blow it, he did fair catch.
I think it's a stupid penalty regardless because what does it hurt? I mean, fair catch and he runs. Well, you put it back where he fair catch.
Yeah, I mean, you should blow the whistle, guys.
Yeah.
But that's what the thing was. They said it automatically should have been dead, but
Are they using the blowing whistles or the electric now?
The electric ones.
Okay,
I'm not sure.
because I've heard.
Well, we've seen, last
earlier.
week we actually saw some penalties. Well,
Yeah.
one
Yeah.
penalty
A bunch of
where he
them,
didn't even throw the flag.
Yeah.
They called to stop the play and then he threw the flag. And
Yeah.
I was like, well, shoot, someone missing the whistle is
that
probably
was it.
just
So,
as
I mean,
easy.
You're going to get it, but he shouldn't have ran. Once he whipped for a fair card, they should have just held on to it and handed it to the ref. So
we were kind of confused because I thought I saw him, but I wasn't sure. And then I didn't hear a whistle, and then he ran, and
that's what confused him.
Yeah,
he didn't hear a whistle,
Yeah.
but I told him, it's like, look,
Hey,
you fair catch it, just hold it tight.
And y'all
hand
preach
to
it,
the
I'm
ref.
sure.
Yeah.
Play to the whistle.
Yeah, keep going.
Play to the whistle.
Finish
Yeah.
it.
I wait for that whistle.
Yeah, that's right.
So you mentioned it earlier, Coach Francis,
Yes,
about Bayham's averaging over 42 yards.
It's like 41 plus
That's
some
unreal.
change, so which is really good for high
Yeah.
school, man. It's
I
incredible.
think Tally is probably like 6 or 7 on field
Yeah,
goals,
he's
somewhere
going
around
well,
there.
yeah,
And,
somewhere
and
in there.
his long is 39.
No, it's 47.
47. I know he's got a few of them in the high 30s.
Yes,
But
he's
his,
got a few in the 30s, but it's
but
47.
his miss was not.
No, his misses are
It was.
close.
Well, his miss was a block, wasn't it?
The one block, and
No,
he had
no, he
one
missed-
just to the
yeah,
left.
Okay.
Just to the
Wide
left.
left.
Wide left.
Yeah,
Wide left.
yeah.
Yeah, that was it.
Hit the
So,
pole,
I'm not
yeah.
counting the block. I'm talking about the one he
No,
missed.
that block,
Okay.
that was.
But I'm telling you, there's
we
some
got
of the
tight
field
up front.
goals I've seen that he could hit. I mean, where's he hitting practice? Is he hitting
He hits
50?
Yeah, he hits right around there. 49,
Now, did they still
50.
use a tee?
He uses a real short
Yeah,
tee.
because I can't even tell.
No,
from up
it's
there.
it's a quarter inch maybe at the most.
Yeah.
Just something where it's not on the turf or grass.
Yep.
Right.
So,
Yeah,
what's
so
the rules on that in high school?
They can go up to an inch and a half.
Okay,
like an
'cause
inch.
I've
It can
seen
get
some
tall.
big,
are
tall
bigger blocks,
block
but he
ones,
likes the lower one.
Yeah,
And,
because
you know,
it doesn't even look like he's got one.
No, it's
Yeah.
up to them and what they feel comfortable with. I mean, they're kickers, and then whatever they feel comfortable with, let's keep doing it.
Yep. And then last week we also had a PAT with a high snap to Bilson that
Bilson
we got
had a great
off.
play.
I think he was still standing up when he put it out.
If you watch the
Just sweat a
replay,
little
he
bit on that.
stands up and catches it and doesn't go back to a knee, just bends over and just sticks it
I
on the
know,
ground.
he's still-
And Tally kicks it right through.
Yeah, I mean, you got to
So-
give Tally credit for holding there, and Bilson, you got to give him a heck of a lot of credit for getting that ball down.
Athleticism, yeah.
I mean, that's
So-
impressive.
Any other, any other things you want to mention over special teams? They're fun to watch.
They
They're
are. I hope
creating
they are.
havoc, turnovers on the
what we're trying to
defensive
do.
side of it. Obviously you got Bayham and Tally, who we've talked about a bunch here
Phenomenal.
tonight.
Right.
I mean, you got a good group,
Yeah, we're
Coach.
getting there.
Just like offense and defense.
Yeah,
it
we're
seems like
working
got
hard, and hopefully we can get better and better
Yep.
each game, and that's our goal. We try to improve.
Yep.
Sometimes you get a step backwards, but most of the time we're moving forward. So
Well, tell us one more thing about the when you're opposing teams, special teams. What are you looking at this week?
they got some really good athletic returners.
Okay.
So we're going to do our best to try to corral them and keep them from breaking out on us. They're very athletic, very fast. So we're going to kind of keep it away from them a little bit. So we'll see what we can do.
Okay.
You excited about going over to Covington Friday
yes,
tomorrow
sir.
night?
Oh, yes, sir.
So
it's always a
Brown
good
Jug.
place. It's always fun to play.
How long have you been coaching at St. Paul's?
This is my, let's see, I got here in 07, so gosh, 13, 14 years. 13 years, yeah.
Wow.
Oh, my
Been a
14th
while.
season, yeah. I've been here for a long time.
Yeah.
You'll start having some kids, I guess, next year that were born when you started coaching. Not to make you feel old.
Thanks. No, I appreciate that.
There's not a gray hair in that beard.
Yeah.
If there is, it's a stress.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
You coach anything else or just
Actually, I moderate bowling. So I do a bowling team. Cool. Yeah, something different.
Where do
Really?
they bowl at?
They bowl in Tangi over in Hammond.
Okay.
So we go over there once or twice a week, and then they have the meets there, or
Look,
matches.
high school bowling, it wasn't around when we were in high
Oh,
school.
Man,
sport.
we
It
missed out.
is a big sport now, and actually a lady that works for us, her son, Ryan Daigle, got a full-paid scholarship to Louisiana Tech for
Really?
bowling.
That's awesome.
But he's bowled a couple 300s.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
he's legit.
We're happy we get like 150, 170, 180.
Right.
So we're good, but
Trying to
still,
break
that's
100.
impressive. Yeah,
That's
trying to get the
amazing.
bumpers out there.
Yeah.
So, well, Coach Francis, I appreciate you coming on. Exciting special
Thanks, sir.
teams.
Hey, thank y'all so
doing
much
a
for
great
having me out
job.
here.
And
Thank y'all.
if you ever need anything, just let us know.
Sure will.
And appreciate it. So.
Hey, thank y'all.
All right.
With that, we're going to go to a quick commercial break. But once again, want to thank Walk-Ons and all our sponsors. And remember, if you come into Walk-Ons, donate $5. It goes towards the Hope House to end child abuse and child trafficking. And you also enter, in a chance with that $5 to win an autographed football from Coach O and Joe Burrow. Barry here is a huge LSU fan, so he's
Coach O fan.
yeah.
I'm a Coach O fan.
Oh,
I do love Coach O.
Love some Coach O. So with that, we're going to go to a commercial break, and we'll be right back with to wrap up our Walk-Ons Coaches Show.
This is a walk-on athlete. They push harder and put their heart into the game. This is the passion we're built on. It's why we put our heart into creating game day with a taste of Louisiana. Walk-ons, we live for this. This is a walk-on athlete. They push harder and put their heart into the game. This is the passion we're built on. It's why we put our heart into creating game day with a taste of Louisiana. Walk-ons, we live for this. This is a walk-on athlete. They push harder and put their heart into the game. This is the passion we're built on. It's why we put our heart into creating game day with a taste of Louisiana. Walk-ons, we live for this. This is a walk-on athlete. They push harder and put their heart into the game. This is the passion we're built on. It's why we put our heart into creating game day with a taste of Louisiana. Walk-ons, we live for this. This is a walk-on athlete. They push harder and put their heart into the game. This is the passion we're built on. It's why we put our heart into creating game day with a taste of Louisiana. Walk-ons, we live for this. This is a walk-on athlete. They push harder and put their heart into the game. This is the passion we're built on. It's why we put our heart into creating game day with a taste of Louisiana. Walk-ons, we live for this. This is a walk-on athlete. They push harder and put their heart into the game. This is the passion we're built on. It's why we put our heart into creating game day with a taste of Louisiana. Walk-ons, we live for this. This is a walk-on athlete. They push harder and put their heart into the game. This is the passion we're built on. It's why we put our heart into creating game day with a taste of Louisiana. Walk-ons, we live for this. This is a walk-on athlete. They push harder and put their heart into the game. This is the passion we're built on. It's why we put our heart into creating game day with a taste of Louisiana. Walk-ons, we live for this.
Our touchdown sponsor for the season, Mike Arnold, Barry Strickland. We're joined by number 81, Jacob Frolick, 6'1". Got some fans out there, man.
Yeah, looks like it.
Yeah,
so,
like that for the coaches.
Yeah.
So 6'1",
that's right.
6'1", 240 senior. defensive end, and he's part of the meat package, which I don't know if you've heard, but the meat package has got a cult following almost now.
Yeah.
So have you watched any of the replays or anything like that and seen it on social media?
Yeah, I've watched the film on it, and I've just it's fun. It's fun to be on offense and get some playing time there.
Which one you like better?
Defense.
Yeah, defense.
Defense at heart. Yeah,
you don't like just steamrolling people?
Well, I mean,
you can do it on both sides.
Yeah, both sides. But I mean, just any way to help the team, I'll do it. But it's fun.
Well, I know you had at least one sack last week, and it seemed like the meat package was in the whole second half almost. Yeah. I mean, y'all came into the third quarter. Danny got about a 30-yard run, finished it up with another 20-yard run, and then another 10-yard run. So y'all were just moving the ball, eating the clock, and it's fun watching you guys. So fun watching you on both sides of the ball. You're one of my favorite players to announce for. And I even told Barry last week, I said, before the end of the year, the meat package is going in and Frolic's getting the ball. I said, I don't know when it's going to happen, but I hope to see it.
Have you tried to get, say, hey, coach, just give it to me a little bit?
Well, we got, I mean, might have something up our sleeves for that in future games, But,
I figured you were.
I just enjoy being out there and, like, on the meat package like you're talking about. It's definitely fun. It's something I've never really got to do, like play on offense and be in the backfield until this year.
Yeah. So you've never played in the backfield ever?
Well, 8th grade, there's like a couple games I played like fullback, but I mostly played like O-line and D-line. Yep. And then freshman, sophomore, junior, I was primarily D-line. But now this year I'm back in on offense and the package, so it's interesting, it's fun, something new.
So you like all the working out and all the stuff that goes along with football, and
I like
all the summer.
Yeah, it's it can get long at times, but it's definitely worth it, and I enjoy it and I have fun. And as you can see by the people who are cheering on, I have some great teammates to play with. So
it's fun watching y'all. Y'all got, both sides of the ball, offense, defense, special teams. There's a list of names. We got pages of them of just exciting players, exciting plays. It's not one guy here, one guy there. There's a dozen or more y'all that we're calling y'all's names every other play. It seems like. Yep. So it's fun to watch y'all. So put you on the spot here. Favorite teacher at St. Paul's?
That's a tough question.
Sorry, I didn't laugh at that because I've got a good question too. So I just thought it just came to my mind. So tell us about that teacher.
Oh,
they're probably watching.
Yeah.
People watching Mexico and Canada.
Yeah. we got 2 international subscribers every week.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Favorite teacher.
Probably not watching this, but so. You can name a few. I'm sure you got a few. What's your favorite subject? Let's go back.
Favorite subject. Okay. I'd probably say I'm more of a
math guy.
Nah, math's not really my strong suit, but it's
like some history.
I'm more of like a history kind of history science guy.
Gotcha.
So
that's Coach Francis, isn't it?
Yeah, Coach Francis. I was way back in 8th grade.
Okay, all right.
That's when I had him. Yep. But I guess like history, science. So
you like a physics guy or chemistry guy? Which part of science?
I'd say more like biology and physics.
Okay, all right.
So I'm taking physics this year.
Yep.
This peak.
I got you.
And then I can't remember. I'm trying to think of my class I'm taking this year, but I'm just blanking on it.
No pressure.
Yeah.
Up here.
There's a lot of stuff going on, Jacob. You're fine. Good student, good athlete. Barry's got another question.
Easy one here. What are you looking at in the future?
In the future?
Yeah. What are your career goals? College. Majors.
I haven't really decided on anything certain yet, but there's I guess a couple options I've been looking at. I've been looking at the maritime industry for a little bit, and then also been looking at the medical field, maybe something in there.
Cool.
But
marine biologist.
Maybe I don't know about that, but it's still open right now. So
undecided.
Yeah. Undecided.
You'll figure it out. Whatever it is, I'm sure you'll be good at it. So
the last question here.
Covington, ask him about
Tell us. I'll wait for that.
Night.
We'll talk about Covington first, then I'll ask you your last question.
I mean, you excited about tomorrow night going over to Covington?
This is your 4th time to play them?
Yep.
Right? And so what's the record with you in the last 4 years? Are they even?
Well, no. For me personally, since the time I've been on varsity, I think we've been 1-2 against them.
1-2? Okay.
Yep. We lost last year, and we also lost my freshman year.
Okay.
But I'm definitely looking forward to getting the jug back and going to their stadium.
Yeah.
Playing them one last time. Yep. It's definitely one of my favorite rivalry games that we have, and I'm just excited for it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, Barry, you got one more question before we get over to Mr.
I want to know
Rhett
your
Barker.
favorite Coach Mick quote.
Favorite Coach
He's
Mick quote.
I mean, he's here. I mean, he's here somewhere and watching it.
Favorite Coach Mick quote.
What does he say that's just the funniest thing, or what do you like hearing him say?
Well, I guess some of the stuff he says I can't say on here, but I'm trying to think of what is he?
You say, Frog, just do your thing. I love you, man. Go get after it.
I mean, he definitely supports me a lot, and he really trusts our team and has a lot of faith in our defense, and
That's
I really
what he
like him
says.
as a defensive coordinator, and he's been a great coach.
Cool.
And I can't really give you an exact quote because I'm just blanking on it.
Yeah.
But
that's all right,
yeah,
man. Well, look,
fun to
Coach
play
Mick
for.
talks highly of y'all.
Yep.
We get to see y'all.
Yep.
We talk highly of y'all. We refer to you as the unit.
Yep.
And Coach Mick, spoke of that early in the course of this live broadcast about y'all just all playing together and being just a cohesive group of kids and a smart group of kids that can really take a defense and he can add to it, and y'all are just able to pick it up really quick. So he's really proud of y'all. And we're proud to watch y'all.
Yep.
So man,
Jacob,
we appreciate you.
Thank you
Take
for
care,
joining
brother.
us. Jacob Frolick, senior defensive end, number 81, part of the meat package, part of the defense. So thank you, Jacob. And if you want to, Rhett, if you want to go ahead and come up there, you can swap out. Jacob, you can just hand that headset over to Rhett. And while we're waiting on number 31, our other team captain, Rhett Barker, to come in. Sitting down.
Hey, Rhett. How's it going, man?
How you doing,
Glad
Rhett?
to have you here, buddy.
Mike Arnold, Barry Strickland. Before we get started, Rhett, we want to thank our sponsor, Walk-Ons. Walk-Ons is our official touchdown sponsor. We couldn't have done it without them. Also, our Coaches Show sponsor today. So Rhett, if you see it up there, it's a little bit delayed. So
yes,
just kind of
go with it.
Go with it right here. Okay. Rhett is also a senior defensive back on the defensive side. We were talking to your teammate Jacob here on your side of the ball. Fun to watch the defense. What's it like playing for Coach Mick? We had him in here earlier. I know he's fun to play for.
It's very fun. I really enjoy what we're doing. I enjoy Coach Mick as a coach. He makes it enjoyable. He makes us. It's very fun being out there under him.
A lot of energy.
Yes, sir.
I know he likes to bring the house. So I know your teammates last week. Y'all had 3 interceptions, right?
Yes, sir.
Freeman had 1, and then
Calvert
had 2. So, a lot of close games. We talked about it with all the coaches. I mean, it's fun to watch y'all play, not just on the defensive side of the ball, but the whole team. And the Destrehan comeback, the Slidell comeback, and y'all handle business pretty much the whole game against Hammond. So,
yes, sir.
Just what's this season been like with COVID and not being able to have contact late and 2 high-energy games that were down to the last minute, and it's been a fun season. So what do you think about it so far?
Initially, it was worrisome. We were all kind of – none of us knew what was going to happen, but we all knew that we had to be here.
Yep.
If the season got canceled, at least for the younger kids, and to show them, this is St. Paul's football, this is what we want to do, and this is what we want to be carried on throughout the next several years.
Yep.
As we got into it, it came around that we were going to have a season.
Jacob, show that door. You're good.
We really stepped it up a notch, and it became a lot of fun. Yep. Coming back from being out last year, I didn't play last year. I was out on a knee injury. So finally getting back out onto the field, was a relief for me. I really enjoyed it.
I know it was probably fun for y'all to get to start hitting. I mean, I know with the COVID stuff, the season's a little bit later. Do you like playing this late with the cold weather? I think
yes, sir, I do.
Yeah.
It is easier with the cold.
Practice is a little bit easier.
Yep. Yes, sir. Yep. So
a lot more enthusiasm associated with just feeling the crisp in the air.
Yep.
Right.
Last year you did have an injury that kind of ended your season, and you've really rehabilitated that and been working really hard on the field. It looks like you're playing several positions out there. It looks like you're getting moved around a lot out there.
Yes, sir.
Kind of a Swiss Army knife, huh?
Somewhat, yes, sir. Coming back was hard. Last year, we kind of decided that I was going to play safety. I was smaller, faster, and then I got hurt. And through the 9-10 months that I wasn't able to do anything, I bulked up a good bit. So when I went back as a safety, it just didn't fit as well. I wasn't good for that position.
Okay.
So I started off the season as safety, but as we moved on, we kind of realized, I just need to go back to linebacker. That'd be better suited for the team. And as we saw, Preston, who I switched out with, had 2 interceptions. Yep. So I think that was a good move for us.
Cool.
What did you make? I can't remember what game last year. I was there and got to see it. But was it? Did you get to play Covington last year?
I did not.
You
I
did
got
not.
injured
Okay.
on our first game against McMahon. Yes, sir.
Okay. All right.
So you excited about tomorrow night going
I'm
over
very
there?
excited. Yes, sir.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, we'll ask you just like we asked Jacob. What do you love about St. Paul's, and who's your favorite teacher so far in these 4 years? We're gonna put you on the spot.
All right.
And you can name more than one if you don't want to hurt anybody's feelings.
St. Paul's as a whole, was suited for me, and it's suited for everybody in this room. I've really enjoyed the sense of brotherhood that we have there. I'm sure that word gets thrown around a lot. But it's true. I mean, we are all connected in a way, and it goes beyond just the what's on our shirt. Yep. So St. Paul's as a whole, I've enjoyed. It's a great school, great academics, great athletics. My favorite teacher, I guess I'd have to go with Coach Moser. Right. I've had him
what
2
subject?
years. He taught me sophomore year world history and this year civics, AP civics.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So Coach Moser. He's a soccer coach. Yes, sir. Soccer coach. Okay.
So what's it looking like for the future for you, career-wise? Going to college, what you got? What kind of plans you got right now?
Right now, I'm applying to the Naval Academy.
Oh, man.
If I don't get in there, I'm attempting to get a Marine Option Naval ROTC scholarship.
Wow.
Which I hope will take me to Idaho.
Yep.
Just
Okay.
get out a little bit, explore.
So you're hoping to go to Annapolis? Or?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yep.
Awesome.
So Rhett actually has a uncle that's a Navy SEAL, right?
2 uncles.
Two uncles that are Navy SEAL, and so and his dad's a big guy too. So I get to see him at church a lot and catch up with him, and actually get to see him work out. I mean, this guy works out late in the evening when nobody's there. So I'm not there. I just heard about it, But he's you do a lot of working out
Yes, sir.
behind the scenes and
I
get
have
after
to. I was off for so long. I have to get back in there and start building everything back up.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
If you get in the Navy, you're going to try to go through SEALs, or?
No, sir. My father was a Marine, so I'm thinking the Marine route.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. Awesome. Well, anything else you want to add?
No, sir.
All right. Well, look, Rhett, we appreciate having you. It's fun watching you on the defensive side of the ball. It's fun watching your whole team. Sound like a great guy. It's first time meeting you, and thank you for your future service.
I appreciate it. Thank
you.
you.
Appreciate it, man. Tell your mom and dad to say hello.
We'll do. Thank you. So that's number 31, Rhett Barker, senior defensive back. And then we're going to move on to our last captain, Dylan Porsche. Dylan, come on down. So we're jumping to the
O-line.
We're jumping to the other side of the ball.
Hey, Dylan. There you go, Dylan.
We got Dylan Porsche coming in, number 66, offensive lineman. Dylan's also a senior. We talked to 2 guys on the other side of the ball. I guess Frolick's in the meat package, so he transitions. So y'all don't get enough credit, offensive line. They never do, but we don't talk about you enough. We probably should talk about you more, but y'all are opening up holes. Y'all are moving bodies. Y'all are wearing people out. Every game, the defensive line, they have their hands on their hips. I mean, we're running the ball. I mean, I don't know what the stats are on the ground. Let's see. we got almost 500 yards through 3 games on the ground. So I mean, it's
our job.
You got to talk to the guys in the trenches to get that done.
Yeah.
And y'all are doing it. So
So push harder. So we got to do.
So tell us, what are you looking forward to tomorrow night? Going over to Covington, big rivalry game. Are y'all excited? What are you feeling?
We're just excited to play.
Yep.
My last time playing Covington.
Oh yeah.
Make it the best. So
bringing home the brown jug.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So next question. We didn't have Coach Stan in here tonight.
We
We could do a whole Coach Stan show if we wanted to. Probably. What's it like playing for Coach Stan? I know you. I know he throws out some crazy quotes and he's a fun guy. So how's it playing for him?
You'll never understand Stan until you play with him.
Yeah,
it's crazy. The stuff he says is just. I don't know.
He loves the sun, though.
Oh, yeah, the sun dog. That's all he says. The sun dog. Every time he walks outside, looks up, the sun dog. That's all he says.
So, what, some of your other teammates are out here. You want to give a shout-out to any of your other offensive linemen?
Nick, you got Philip Garcia. Yeah, you got Ryan Blanchard.
Yeah. Can't miss him. So.
Oh, yeah.
So
give us your favorite Coach Stan quote.
He says, what does he say? Silence is golden, but duct tape is silver. So he says it all the time. So he says that all
Silence
the time.
is golden and duct tape is silver.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to put that.
That's the good one.
I'm
Get that tattooed on your arm or something, Barry.
Right in the
T-shirt.
Back.
So getting ready tomorrow night, you're excited. So we'll transition over to school. We put the last 2 guys, Jacob and Red, on the spot. First of all, tell us, what you love about St. Paul's, what it means to you, and then, the second thing is your favorite teacher.
Ooh.
So yeah, that's what they all said. Ooh. Jacob didn't even answer it. He just kind of acted like he couldn't remember, and he skirted the subject. Rhett, he threw a name out there.
Yeah, like
I
that.
an answer, but I think the best thing about St. Paul's is probably the community. We're all brothers. It's all open, and everybody's included. So it's not like other schools where it's like distinct groups of people here, people there, but it's just St. Paul's is everywhere, And then favorite teacher, it's probably going to be Coach Dart.
Coach Dart, what's he teach?
Art.
He's
Art.
Yeah, he's funny. He's pretty good.
I've actually met him once.
Good guy.
At the open house.
So are you an artist?
No,
you just like
I'm
it.
terrible
Okay.
at art.
Okay.
I cannot draw. Can't draw a tree probably.
Okay.
What so exciting season, tell us about what was going through your head, Slidell and Destrehan, obviously both of those big comeback wins. I mean,
well, just tell us about Destrehan, the guy that actually was signed.
And you had to go against big 92.
Oh, he's big in
or 91.
It's 99.
99.
Oh, yeah, I think it's 99.
Well, I know in that game we went in talking about whoever he was, and it seemed like y'all contained him.
Y'all
and shut
neutralized
him.
Yeah.
And
we never called his name.
We never called his name all game.
Yeah.
Well, now the guy next to him, I guess y'all were double, triple, and even one guy, he's going to get away every once in a while. But he was a big old boy, too.
I think all we were thinking is probably push harder than they push.
Yep.
Just tire them out and see if we can slip through one of the gaps, You never want it to come off a loss and be like, hey, I could have played better. So it's a great feeling we win.
That's true.
I feel like I played my best.
Yep. So. Slidell, down 2 scores with a minute and a half left. We get it back. We're down by 1 with I don't know, 10, 11, 12 seconds on the clock around the 10-yard line. I mean,
what a game.
As an offensive lineman, y'all don't get enough credit. I always watch, and my son Caden, who's a freshman, Caden Arnold. I watch him play, and I never played offensive line, so it's not jumping off, not false starting, not move. It's got to be tough, especially when you're in a play where it's 3rd down and you're on the 10-yard line, and this is a chance to win the game. You don't want to be the guy that jumps, man. I mean, what's the pressure like in that situation?
I think it's weird. It's kind of cliche, but everything really does go silent in those situations.
Oh, I believe it.
Your killer instinct clicks in, and it's all about you and the guy in front of you.
Yep.
So you get down, you get ready, and you just go to work. So and actually,
that kind of just gave me chills thinking about that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Just remembering back to that. Just
slows down. I bet.
And then in the last game, I jumped off sides, and that was I think it was the first time I jumped off sides in a varsity football game.
Yeah.
That crushed me for the next 2 plays.
Well, you're going to fix it. So.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's what we've seen with this team. Yeah. We've had our mistakes, and but y'all come up, in each game it seems like it's just a little bit cleaner, less mistakes.
Yep.
And look, I mean, I was an O-line too. And I mean, that's sometimes you're going on 2 or whatever y'all got y'all dialed up, because y'all do it seems like y'all do the hard snaps.
The hard snap count. Y'all did it 2 or 3 times in the first half last game. I mean, I think in the very first series y'all had 3rd and 4, and it was the first series y'all did a hard snap and jumped. I was like, whoa, if we got them that early, we're gonna get them all game.
Oh, yeah. So, I mean, you think about how many hard snaps we've had and how many. We haven't had any, jump off. So it's pretty good. I mean, I think your averages are good, man. So I think you should just move on through that.
Oh yeah.
So y'all are a good unit down there and looking good. I wish Coach Stant was here to talk. It would have been great. But now he'll be back tomorrow night.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I think he's back tomorrow at school. I think
tomorrow.
In the morning.
Yep.
Now there was. Y'all had the meat package in almost the whole second half last game. How is it fun to have those big guys behind you?
I look back, I see Frolic.
It's on. Look, there was one play, Barry, and I pointed out to you where y'all pulled 2 of the guys on the left side. Were you one of the guys pulling?
Yeah, gag.
Boy, y'all are running around with a full head of steam, and y'all had Sears behind you. And Frolic was like, "Oh man, I wouldn't want to be in
a wedge."
Y'all were bowling people over, man.
That's my favorite play, gag. I just get out there and just see one person, you just go straight at them.
So awesome. That's a good one to watch.
You get people running away from you.
It looked like they were parting the seas.
Yeah, they try to get out the way.
Well, I tell you what, Dylan, thank you for coming on. I can't give the offensive line enough credit, so thank you, offensive line. So make it fun to watch. One of our 3 senior captains for the game against Covington tomorrow night. Go Wolves. What's your plans in the future? Major in college? What are you looking at?
Something in the medical field, maybe like kinesiology, physical therapy, something like that.
Cool.
So,
all right. Well, I appreciate you coming on, Dylan. And
thanks for being here, buddy.
For y'all tomorrow night. Thank you very much. And go Wolves.
Go Wolves.
So that's going to go ahead and wrap up our Walk-Ons Coaches Show. Mute those last 2, Chip. I do. You got some of the players. Guys, if y'all want to come out in front of the camera and let everybody see y'all. So we got big finding. We're still live doing a dance. So I see Bilson over there in the corner. I saw Danny. He was somewhere. I see Piazza over there. 63. So see Tally coming in. So exciting game tomorrow night.
Big game
at Covington.
It's bragging rights for a whole year,
Guys, y'all pumped up for tomorrow? So they're ready to go. So we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. We got Danny coming back in. So that's going to wrap it up for our walk-ons. We're looking at the tape delay here on the screen. Some of the guys dancing on the screen. So Vining's breaking it down. So
hey, he's got some moves.
He does. So
those moves, baby.
Big guys dancing.
Yep.
Beautiful thing.
It's going to be exciting tomorrow night. So over at Salter Stadium, Cal Palace. Governor bumped up the attendance up to 50%, so they'll have some people in there. There'll be some cowbells ringing.
Well, there'll be some people there.
And there'll be some tears flowing, baby.
I hope so. So I'm sure we got a couple of Covington people watching us tonight.
Yep.
And these guys are fired up. Thank you, man. And fired up, ready to go. And I know Covington's going to be fired up too.
And so Friday night tomorrow, if you're not going to the game, you can watch it live on WPBN.live. But hey, Grant. Well, he walked off. Sorry for hollering at Mike. No, you don't have to get him either. So first St. Paul's Coaches Show had Coach Sears, Kenny Sears III, Mick, Coach Francis, had the 3 team captains with Dylan Poche, Rhett Barker, and Jacob Frolic. So glad to have those guys.
Yeah, it's kind of coming up about
We got Grant's dad sticking his head in the door, hollering at Chip. Must have screwed something up. So big game tomorrow night. If you're not going out there, you want to stay at home. Might be raining tomorrow night. So go to WPBN.live.
At least just hope we don't have any lightning, because that's what got us last year.
Yeah,
lightning is the. We can deal with the rain.
So, well, Barry, wrap it up. You got anything you want to say?
Oh man, go Wolves!
Go Wolves! And
look, brown jug.
Also, Friday night you got the varsity game. Saturday, at noon, we got freshmen and JV, and then Barry's fried up a bunch of fish. So
we tore them up, didn't we, guys?
Yes, we did.
Yep. So had a good time fishing
the secret hole.
The Wolfpack Broadcasting Network. Dr. Barry took us out Wednesday morning, and we went and caught over 100 trout. So we almost limited out.
Everybody else was
got the white. I mean, we were
coming by and watching us and moving on.
Yep.
We were wearing them out.
So swing on by the house for some fried fish Saturday after the JV and freshman game.
Yeah.
So, Mike Arnold, Barry Strickland, WPBN Walk-On Coaches Show wrapping up. Want to thank Walk-Ons, our sponsor. Remember, come in this week and donate $5 that goes towards the Hope House, and also enters you to win a LSU signed football by Coach O. Coach O.
You do pretty good with that.
I do it better in the booth. It's hard
does he
to do
live
it
here still here in Mandeville?
I don't think so. I think they moved over to Baton Rouge, but
it'd be nice to maybe get him to come in and sit down one day.
Maybe he watches WPBN, Barry.
Look, people in Canada do.
Yeah, Canada and Mexico. So thank Walk-Ons. Come in, donate $5 to the Hope House, which stops child abuse and child trafficking, and thank you to Chip South for running the board and Lenny Russell, and excited to see the Wolves in action tomorrow night. Bilson, Reyna, Mitchell Smith, Knobloch, Sears, Piazza, Vitale. I'm trying to name them all, the offensive line, and get those guys moving the ball, moving the chains. And
we got fresh legs in there all the time.
Yep.
There's a lot of people on that thing.
So thanks for watching. Walk-ons. Yep, thank you to Walk-Ons, and Lenny Russell working the camera, Chip South working the board, and for Barry Strickland, I'm Mike Arnold, and we'll see you tomorrow night at the Cow Palace at 7 p.m.
Go Wolves.
Go Wolves. You got it.
This is a walk-on athlete. They push harder and put their heart into the game. This is the passion we're built on. It's why we put our heart into creating game day with a taste of Louisiana.